Hey guys, it's Miss Medell. Today we are going to be reviewing one and two-step equations. You have actually already done these in the past, so this is just a review. So that's kind of what my Bitmoji is saying. Okay, so this is an example of an equation. This is actually a two-step equation, but it'll work for the purposes that I need. So first we need to identify the different parts. This 3 is what we call a coefficient. And you are also going to see coefficients in science when you are talking about products and reactants and products and reactants, chemical formulas in science. This x is called a variable. So I'm just going to drag that there. That is a variable. These numbers off to the sides are your constants. Okay, so those are the different parts of an equation. So are equations that you have seen, I believe, in sixth grade, and it's exactly what the name says. It's in one step you're going to solve that equation. So to solve for a one-step equation, you are going to need to isolate the variable or get it to be by itself by using the inverse operation. We're going to be talking about that quite a bit. Inverse, and that just means the opposite. So if you're adding, the opposite of adding would be to subtract. If you are multiplying, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. And I'm not sure if you still remember, but when we talked about perfect squaring and square roots, we know that square rooting is the opposite of squaring. Okay, just to kind of refresh your memory. So here's an example of a one-step equation, and it's y plus 14 equals 20. And of course, you're only going to need that one step. You got to get rid of that positive 14 by subtracting 14. And what you do to one side, you are going to do to the other. Well, a positive 14 minus a 14 is going to give you 0, or it's going to cancel out, and you're left with y equals, and then 20 minus 14 gives you 6. Okay, now a two-step equation is exactly what the name means, and it's only going to take you 2 steps to solve. So your first step is going to use addition or subtraction to remove the constant. Okay, we're putting the constants on one side and we're putting the variable on the other side. So in my example, I have 3b minus 4 equals 11. So remember, we're going to use the inverse operation, or the opposite, to get rid of those constants. So instead of a minus 4, we are going to do a plus 4. And what we do to one side, you are definitely going to do to the other side. So my new equation becomes 3b is equal to 15. Your next step is going to either use multiplication or division to remove the coefficient. Okay, we are going to remove the coefficient. So I have 3b. When you see a number and a letter stuck together, that means that we are multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying, or the inverse, would be to divide. So we're dividing both sides by 3 so that I can make sure that my variable is isolated, or it's by itself. And what I do to one side, I definitely need to do to the other. So 15 divided by 3 gives me 5. So my answer is B is equal to 5. Now, another thing that we don't see too much of, but if you had to divide by a fraction, just know that you are simply going to need to multiply by the reciprocal, or flipping it, okay? And that is it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help. Bye.